Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Yesterday's Hearthstone patch contained some big surprises, basically stealth, nerfs and buffs, because two major gameplay things changed in the patch. One is that the Discover mechanic was changed. The Discover mechanic no longer has a class bonus, so if you have a card that can discover both class cards and neutral cards, they are all now going to be offered equally likely. Whereas previously such cards were much more likely to offer you class cards. And another change is to Elise the Enlightened. The copy mechanic is now consistently functioning. It always copies from left to right instead of randomly. And what does all of this mean? Let's take a look, and let's take a look at that with some numbers. The class that is being hurt by the changes is Warrior. Warrior has a lot of Discover cards that discover from a pool that has both Warrior cards and neutral cards. And Warrior cards are better, so now this is a big change. Dr. Mad Genius, one of the hero powers is Discover a mech. There are 36 neutral mechs and 9 Warrior mechs in the standard card pool at the moment. So under the old system you had a 16.29% chance to discover a specific Warrior mech. Yeah, that's 16% to get an Omega Devastator, that's 16% to get a Dino Medic, and only 4.26% to get a neutral mech specific one. But under the new system you have 6.67% chance to discover any specific mech. So the odds of meeting multiple Omega Devastators, multiple Dino Medics, Beryllium Nullifiers has gone down a ton when you're facing Warrior, who uses Dr. Boom Hero Power, and also Omega Assembly, a spell to discover mechs. Bad news for Warrior don't end there. They continue with the Frightened Flunky, one of the most powerful cards from the new expansion. 2-mana 2/2 Taunt, Battlecry Discover Taunt minion. In the current standard card pool, there are 42 neutral Taunt minions and 3 Warrior Taunt minions. So previously, you had a 21.17% chance to be offered a specific Warrior Taunt minion when you played Frightened Flunky, compared to just 5.63% for a neutral. And in the new system, it's 6.67% for any Taunt minion. So previously, when you played Flunky, you had 53.72% to be offered at least one Warrior Taunt minion, and the only Warrior Taunt minions are Frightened Flunky, Armadillo and Tomb Warden, so 3 really big hits, and more than half of the time you got at least one of those 3. In the new system, it's 19.10%. That is a huge drop. We go from a position where Warrior plays 2 Flunkies in a game, and in most games they're going to play at least one Warrior Taunt from those, to a world where Warrior doesn't get a Warrior Taunt maybe multiple games in a row. And while it's a nerf to Warrior, it's a buff to Mage. Power of Creation. Discover a 6-cost minion, summon 2 copies of it. Mage 6-cost minions mostly suck. So there are 30 neutral 6-cost minions, there are 4 Mage 6-cost minions. In the old system you had 24.84% to discover specific Mage 6-drop and 6.69% for specific neutral. Whereas in the new system it's 8.82% for any specific 6-cost minion. This also means that if you're looking for Charge, you're looking for Argent Commander, you're looking for Reckless Rocketeer, you want to finish the game, your odds of doing that just increased from 13% to 17%. Or if you're trying to defend, you want a Taunt minion, your odds of getting that just went up from 40 to 51%. Power of Creation just got a lot stronger. Another card that got a minor buff is Heist Baron Togwaggle, because you can pick up Zarok's Crown from Heist Baron Togwaggle. That allows you to discover legendary minions, and basically all rogue legendary minions rely on their Battlecry effects. They don't have good stats, and when you summon those with the Crown, they don't trigger the Battlecry effects. So rogue minions are pretty bad. But now, class advantage is gone, so you're more likely to be able to pick up those Deathwings or other dragons, these big hitters. This is perhaps more of a minor buff because you're often wanting to you want those free cards, but in matchups where you want to pick up the Crown, then maybe Crown is a little bit more tempting now. The change also affects any other Discover cards that already were discovering from a pool that includes both class cards and neutral cards. But these are the ones that are most significant for the current meta. There are also discover cards that are not affected at all, like the Vulpera Scoundrel, for example, discover a spell. Because if you discover a spell, you can only discover your own class spells, so there was no waiting anyway. And in addition to that discover change, there's the Elise change. Elise the Enlightened. Battlecry: if your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. It used to copy your hand in random order, so if you had more than 5 cards left in your hand, you wouldn't know which cards you were going to be missing. But now it's going to always copy from left to right, so the oldest cards are always being copied first. And there's a major buff, because you think about this played in like Quest Druid style decks with Nomi or with Malygos. And much of the time, that Nomi or Malygos or those Moonfires, that sort of stuff has been in your hand for a while by the time you get to actually play Elise. And that means that you are much more flexible about your hand size when you do the copying, because you can be guaranteed of the result. Even in those bad cases where you draw your Nomi or Malygos last, you then know exactly what you need to do in order to get another copy. So, a surprise patch with surprise nerfs and buffs, not official nerfs and buffs, no refunds are being offered, stealth nerfs and buffs, but Warrior has been nerfed, Mage and Druid have been buffed. Perhaps minor things overall in the meta, but still something that you should know about if you're playing Hearthstone.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.